If I borrow money from you
Mm,
and I use it to play the lotto,
okay.
and I guess we can do two instances. If you know I'm using it to play the lotto and I
Yeah,
win,
yeah.
how much do I owe you? If you didn't know and I win, how much do I owe you?
If I didn't know, I'm going to start with that one. If I didn't know, child, take that money and go. How do I know that you didn't win?
Next week it comes in. Some people don't know how to be calm with a lot of money in their account.
So it would only benefit you to tell me that you won, right?
How?
This is my plan when I win the lotto. I'm going to win 100 million, right? And then I'm going to wait for a lesser amount to be won. And then I say, I won that one. So that now family doesn't look and expect that much money. They know that I only won 2 million. And what I've given them is what I've given them. And they're going to think that I'm generous. So that's my plan. I've already thought about it. So if I do know, then I don't know, man. I suppose if you know my situation, if we're close and we're tight like that, then I would hope that you'd give me, like, out of the goodness of your heart, you'd give me enough to buy myself like a nice place and a nice car and to be comfortable. That's all I want.
No, why?
I don't know why. Why? What do you mean?
I borrowed 100 rand. Here's 100
Yeah.
rand back.
It was my 100 randa that enabled you to win.
Yeah,
You
but
won because
someone else
of
could have
me.
given me 100 rand.
Yeah, but you didn't go to anybody else. You came to me. And it was my lucky and my God.
Oh, it's your God.
It's my God that got you those millions. So, sir, my money, please.
So you're entitled
Run
to
me
my
check.
earnings.
Run me my check. Yes,
You
have
didn't
nothing
take
to
this.
run
You didn't
your
take this step
earnings.
of faith and win the lotto.
Sir, it works together. Do you understand? Like, this is a...
So you're saying the key to winning the lotto is when 2 or 3 agree. It is
Oh, hallelujah. Jeez. Hey, I felt that. Hey, exactly that. Don't you dare.
Tamela, how do you feel? Like, I borrow money from you, I win the lotto. How much do I owe you?
To be honest with you, I'd say like that 100, but be generous.
So
How much is generous? So when are you giving the Miss World answer here, saying, I just want to know, how much would you want?
Nah, I'd probably like 100K. I don't know.
So you'd be
makes sense.
secretly touched if you don't get something.
I think you're a dick. Yeah.
Exactly. You are.
I don't think we should let people have their rewards and let them do what they want with it.
But then my heart is going to be like, it's going to hurt, though. It's going to hurt.
Well, your
If
God
you
also
said,
heals.
If you said, I need, I got a job interview, but I don't have money to get there. And I'm praying for you to get the job, you know? I'm not looking for you to buy me cold drinkinyana when at the end of the month. But lotto is different, man. It's totally different. So
I think at our core, we all go, because we're broke, we're going to share. But we've never had the kind of money to know who do we really become when the money gets in. Because I think the money will change how you view and do things. I already know. If I get the lotto, I'm not going home with a nice car to my parents. I'm going with a car that looks raggedy. Because I don't want you knowing the
that
progress.
you're okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no. Because I know what pocket chicken looks like in the family. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've got one person that I'm going to give, and when I say one, they're actually a family. So I've got one family that's...
Your kids don't count.
No, I'm not talking about kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I'm going to, like, give the money to, and they would know that, okay, it's this amount. Everybody else are...
So the census chat is, if your friend wins a lotto after you gave them money, they owe you a little more.
Oh, it's such a difficult word, but it would be nice.
Oh is a difficult word.
Yeah.
Word. However, I think as South Africans, that's a flaw in our South African, in our African humanity.
Okay.
We are very entitled to things we did not work for.
Ooh. Now you're coming for us.
And I'm speaking very broadly.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to go like deep into other conversations,
Yeah.
but I think we have this it's become part of our personality trait now as South Africans. Like, but
Cold drinkinyana.
yeah.
And I'm not asking.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And then like the parking guards, right, at the shopping malls and stuff. You weren't there when I found the spot. You're just there to help me reverse. I can reverse just fine. My car's probably telling me how to reverse anyway. So when I give you 2 rand, now you have a problem. If I give you 5 rand, it's a problem. You know, depending on the car, if I give you 10 rand, it's too little.
Do you feel bad when you don't give them something?
It's a rule of mine to always give because I don't know your situation. It's a rule. I actually judge people that don't tip. Like if you are intending to be my boyfriend and you don't tip,
a parking guard.
It's a problem.
In a mall.
Parking guard in a mall. On the road, I don't, because that's a bit difficult. Also hijacking, so no. But if it's within the mall, just enjoy, man. We know that if your car is being taken, there's nothing that much they can do. It's not like they're like, okay, please can I have your number so that if anything happens, I can quickly call you. That's not the case, right? But for me, it's just like I don't know what your situation at home is. So therefore, I want to give you this amount.
I would commend Cape Town for that one thing.
Okay.
That they have guards in the areas that have a speed point. So they time how long your car's been there. And you will pay before you leave.
Are you kidding me?
Last time I was there, that's what they did.
You pay by speed point?
Yeah, on the side of they pull out this thing.
Okay, no, but that means it's like a little business for them then.
Yeah, which brings me to the people in Fourways. If you live in Joburg, please also put in the comments, remind us where it is. As far as I know, it's Fourways close to Bryanston, Monte Casino. Those lights are always out.
Always.
And there's and I don't know, I don't think they're homeless, but they're people, they help guide the traffic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that no millionaire has said, let's register a company, create a board, create some guideline. Let's make this a thing. Because if our insurance is not going to do the job, we can do it and find funding.
That's a good idea.
This could be, they are walking billboards. They are billboards. You give them bibs, nice highlights, whatnot, have your name on whatever. Yo, actually, I think I have an idea.
That's a very good idea, actually.
Didn't Outsurance do that? Like, wasn't that their thing?
Yeah,
But they're not there all the time. At those corners. And there's a few like busy areas in Joburg like that where it's like, oh, there's people helping guide the traffic, and I think traffic cops should maybe stop doing roadblocks when the robots aren't working. Why aren't you there?
Put on your white gloves and get to work.
Like, what else are you doing? You'll get your hamburger at the end of the month. Whenever they get paid. And
there we go.
But, like, do your job. Anyway, I think that's a good idea. Someone should register them, add their names to the list, and hopefully they're South African, and they are walking billboards for you. You want to advertise? 5 o'clock's the busiest time. It's going to cost 50K for that hour of them wearing these highlighted things with your name, business name on. Damn it!
And I mean, you're sitting there.
They're quite
now. Good.
Damn it, this is on the episode.
Quickly do it.
Someone's watching this.
You know that by the time it comes out, you could have
and
had
it's
this
December.
Registered. You could have had it registered by then. And because I'm sitting next to you, now I deserve a cut. Because I helped process that idea. I helped you process that idea. I got it out of you eventually. Because you said, thank you, I've got a good idea.
Okay, let's start.
There we go.
You can say hi.
Hey everybody, welcome to another week of Before You Weekend. We're here and we're problematic again. Hi TK.
What's good?
Everything, no.
Relationships are nearing annual leave. It's coming.
It is coming. It's just this time I think it's me. I think I'm the drama.
How do you apply for annual leave in your relationship?
You don't apply, you just do. We just do. We are black. You disappear. You've got family.
Why do you disappear?
In the Eastern Cape.
I feel like
I'm going home.
I feel like we in a generation.
Yeah.
We can go, guys. Baby, it's December.
Yeah.
Go have fun. Don't come back with diseases or pregnant. And whatever the flip side is, just come back, have fun, be safe, respect me. I respect you.
Excuse me, respect me, I respect you.
Listen,
as a man, you don't know what you're asking for there. You don't really know what you're asking for because a man Man, flip.
We just come from a week of a meme where a guy does this. You think we care? I don't know
why people have. Every man on my WhatsApp has a problem with that. I'm like, it gets him going. Why do you have an issue with it?
He did not
It's
need
like,
to
why
lick his
is-
fingers. What does that do? What is it, like a turbo booster?
No,
What was
listen,
that?
if somebody was to put a camera in your bedroom, I'm pretty sure the stuff that would come out of there is not something you'd be like, glad about.
No, I've
So
done my
let's not-
embarrassing things in my early 20s. I've learned. Don't sing a chorus during the rounds. Don't get tired. Don't fall asleep.
A whole chorus, TK.
Hey,
Chorus.
I was learning.
Which reminds me, just quickly, I just hope that this person doesn't watch it. Once upon a time, throughout the entire thing, it was gospel music. And I was like,
No way.
I swear, I'm like, Jesus. I mean, I love you, but you. And I'm like,
Wait.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If it was gospel music, was he moving to the rhythm of the words? Or what kind of gospel are we talking here?
It was Caucasian gospel.
Oh, no. Hillsong. If the rocks will cry out, so will I.
Oh my God. And throughout the whole thing, I was just like,
Maybe he was trying to make a baby. Maybe he thought, if I involve God in my sex, God's going to come through.
how well do you know me? Because everybody that knows me, like, I'm not going to let you into my inner crevices if you don't know that I can no longer have children.
Yeah.
So you're going to be praying as much as you want.
He
There's
says,
no baby coming.
my God split the Red Sea.
Probably. Oh, it was interesting. And yeah.
Wow, no. I wanted to get into the news, but now that we're here, I just want to quickly come back for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Talking about the Bible.
As per usual, every week.
No, hey.
We
We
are
are people of the soil and
we
people
are
of the Most High.
no. We are PKs, therefore. Carry on.
Some of the stories in the Bible, you have to imagine the real reaction. Because you can, for sure,
Okay.
there's a lot of redaction
Yeah,
in
okay.
the story. And Moses struck the water and the sea split. We're not talking about a puddle.
Okay.
Just imagine, what does a sea look like splitting? First of all, if that had to happen now and you told your friends why you late for the party, then no one's going to believe you. Oh, no, listen. I was going through Artabias and God came through, split the thing. I'm here now.
But-
What?
It wouldn't be God if it was a puddle. It wouldn't be God. It needed to be the sea in order for it to be God.
Okay, so the point
Okay.
I was trying to drive is I want to know in all the
Like, it
craziest...
doesn't make sense to you.
Exactly. In all the crazy stories I read about in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
the citizens who got to witness that. I don't want to be alive during those times, but I want to know what really came out of their lips. When you see a sea split, you're not going, oh wow. There's no
But
way.
the thing is, it's not like they were like Christian people. They weren't.
so they were cussing.
So they were cussing.
Oh shit.
The
What
women
is
were
this?
falling. The women were falling over. That's that. I can.
Calling Moses a demon. This must be the devil.
That's how you know that. But then, yeah, they couldn't have been black because then
Oh no, they were black.
they were black, and they let him live, and then they followed him. Because listen now, right? You're thinking of the sea. It's not just a mere parting of water, like you said. It's not a little puddle, right? Where when you walk through it, it's up to your knees. This is a wall of water. And I must follow you. Hold on. First of all, I must follow a man. From the beginning of time, men have been useless.
It's supposed to come with me.
Like, no.
No, wait, hold
And-
on. You go first. Let's see.
And then you go, and you know how it feels like to run, but know that somebody's chasing you.
Yeah.
Right? That kind of fear, walking through, and it's not a small distance. Eh?
Yeah.
You are going. And also, as soon as they all went in, it started closing
Yeah.
behind them.
I think that's the most fascinating story.
I'm pooping my pants.
Yeah. I think that one and the Joshua story during war. Was it Joshua or Gideon who said, "Sun, stand still"?
Oh, yeah.
I would be annoyed at the leader of this army. You asked God for there to be no night for us to rest, so He can continue killing us. Come
That
on,
makes
bruh.
a little bit more sense because you can almost explain it as an eclipse, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so that's not like hectic. My mom
Yo, you're
once
helping.
told
You're
us,
helping them.
I'm,
You're helping the atheists. See, I told you it's an eclipse. God did not.
Listen, we don't have eclipses like that actually. So you can explain it in that way, but for the sea to come down behind the last person there, the one that's behind
Who?
Mole, who?
Who?
Moses.
Who? Okay, let's get into it. We being clowns. For those of you who love going to church, we're not trying to. Hey, we love God to relax, breathe.
Yeah, it's just stuff that you have to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually realized something this week, that the guy at the pool, because I was studying
The
that.
blind guy.
No, the ailing man at the pool that was trying to get in.
For those of you guys who've never read the Bible, I hope this sounds like a great book to read.
Yeah.
Because the way we're describing this sounds like you should have watched the last episode of. Yeah.
So he couldn't get in because every time the angel came, stirred the water, you'd need to get in
Yeah.
and in. So he could never get in. I never heard before, or preached to before, that he actually actively tried to get in.
That makes sense.
It was always preached that people, because he couldn't move, people got in before him or nobody picked him up and put him in.
Yeah.
But there's a part where he says that every time I tried to move, somebody would move in before me. So he was actively trying.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's so cool. So that's the thing about the Bible, that you can have the same message preached at least 3 times a year.
And there's
right?
different.
And there's different, it's always different. So what you see Moses going through is something totally different to somebody else, right? We'll never know until one day kingdom comes, and if God is that gracious and he sits us down and is like, and like,
Yeah.
this is what happened. It's just that you guys, when you wrote it, you guys decided to
Remix.
So we'll only hear then.
Well, that's actually good. That was a good segment.
Jesus.
Okay, so let's get to Botswana for a second.
Okay.
First of all, the name Duma Boko. Duma is not a Tswana word, isn't it?
No, not
It's not, right?
unless you say if udumile something.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
So the president vows to create 500,000 jobs in the next 5 years for a country that only has 2.7 million people. I don't know if that's... First of all, I want to commend them because it sounds more realistic
Yeah.
in comparison to our Cyril going, we're going to create 1 million jobs. When? How? Because
With what?
what's the ratio to how many businesses are starting?
Yeah.
You can't create jobs without businesses. So what's the program to create businesses there?
Yeah.
And they've never actually spoken about that. That bothers me. Even the small business the portfolio, whatnot, they don't bring up how many businesses are going to start to reach the 1 million. So that's not happening. But I'm wondering, 500,000 people getting jobs in a country that has 2.7 million people, we're not even including the people who already are working. Is the number realistic? Because technically saying we're going to have 100,000 new jobs every year, which is a reasonable goal to have. But it's like, for who? Where does the money go? And it's great that if the economy grows, but it's like, I'm trying to understand what's your game plan? Or are you expecting more people to move into Botswana over the next 5 years as well? And that's why.
Coming from where and for what reason? Like what's
Well, their
driving?
mining industry is hectic. It's maybe not South Africa, but it's hectic.
Okay. I just think it's like something that you taught when you're young. Say please and thank you, that kind of thing. So when you get into politics, you've got to add that into your budget speech, that this is what we're going to do over X amount of time. I don't really think that it's practical. I don't think that if you were to ask them how exactly you're going to do it, even if they were to sit down and say, okay, this is the plan, they're not going to get to those numbers, realistically. I don't think they're ever going to get to those numbers.
They would likely get to 500,000 versus our million. I don't see...
Okay.
I don't even think we'll reach 200,000 in the 5 years of this GNU. I can't see that. Already you got Western Cape accepting a lot of foreign investment and foreign people. And thank you to all the TikTokers online telling all the Americans after Trump winning, don't come here, there's no space. because
Yeah.
this whole thing of going to these countries thinking it's a tourist destination and pricing out the cities for the locals, it's very untoward.
Yeah.
It's happening in Spain, happening in, did they say London? I know it's Spain, here, I think they said Kenya as well. It's slowly coming. Portugal. What else is a tourist destination? It's probably happening there too. And I think to some degree, people go on the other side of the coin. Great
Yeah.
tourism, making money. On the other side of the coin, for the people who live here, it's weird. So when I look at the 500,000 jobs, like
Yeah.
beautiful dream, but for who? Who does it serve?
We can't afford to live in our own country, like on a basic level.
Yeah.
You can't. You get a job in Cape Town. Where are you going to stay? You can't afford a 1-bedroom because it's so expensive, let alone an entire lifestyle. But I don't think that that's going to end because everything is about the bottom line, right? So yeah, that's something that we're going to be dealing with for a very, very, very long time.
I still want to go there though.
On that chat where you want to go meet the gangsters, or you want to go there
No,
because you're
Botswana.
making money? Oh, okay.
I want to go see Botswana.
Oh,
Apparently it's really beautiful.
okay.
Already, like, they do stuff like they pay kids to go to school.
Mm.
They give you land. I don't know how because how some people have phrased it, they say they just give you land.
So,
Like, I
anyway,
don't
now you
know.
want to do to Botswana what everybody else is doing to Cape Town, is what you're saying. Now you're
No,
hearing
I
all of
won't
those
be, I won't
things.
be there to live.
No, but
I want to be there to understand the country's ideologies and value system, because
I get it.
It sounds like there's something we could learn. I don't know about the rest of Africa, but I think there's something we could learn. I like how Botswana's not trying to be loud about everything. Like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. We don't care.
That's why we're not going to be like them. Because we need to, everybody needs to know, you must know that I bought a new car. You must know that I've moved to the suburbs.
And then you owe me.
And then you owe me. And then I'm going to, and then I act all snacks. So this thing of, let's just live off the land and, nje in our own lane at our own pace, it's not a South African thing.
I hear
It's
you.
just not us.
Okay, but at the end of the day, South Africans need to start leave these first world countries that you want to go to. Go through Africa.
That's what I want to do. I really want to do that.
It's the only way to heal our ignorance.
Yeah. I'd really love to do that.
It's reading a book and finding out there was a Great Wall before there was Great Wall of China. Did you know that? There was a Great Wall. I forgot what country it is. Is it Nigeria? I forgot. It's obviously up there. But there was a Great Wall before there was a Great Wall of China. It was longer than the Great Wall of China, thicker. It took, I forgot how many years.
Yeah.
And of course, colonizers came in and did what they did.
I've realized that I'm very ignorant about what happens outside of South Africa. I mean, I'm ignorant about what happens within South Africa, and that's probably due to my whatever it is that I'm going through, right?
Yeah.
I've got my own stresses, so I miss a lot about what's happening in my own country. But when it comes to Africa, there's not much that I know about it.
They don't want you to know. Sorry.
What do you mean they? I think they want. Actually, I was speaking to somebody from Ghana, and they know more of our music. They know our cultures.
What country?
Ghana, yeah. And they asked me, "Do you know the song?" I'm like, "No." And like, it's a hit back home, and it's a great song. I just don't know it. I'm like, then that's your fault. Your PR is not, getting the songs and the music over here. They're like, no, you guys just don't want to learn. You don't care.
I will say there's a lot of missed. How do I put it? How everyone's media industry works is very interesting, because in South Africa we'll go, Julius Malema's dropping the ball.
Okay.
Then you go to East Africa, they go, we love your president, Julius Malema. Wait, what?
Wait, no.
What? How?
Okay.
I mean, the last time I was there, I was going to see a waterfall in Arusha, Tanzania. And they're like, where are you from? Because they could hear I'm not from here, from Tanzania. They're like, I said, I'm from South Africa. Oh, we love Julius Malema, your president. He's your next president, right? And they sounded so excited, like he's going to be the next guy. This is pre-election. Like, nah. However he's positioned himself here, clearly it's working.
Yeah.
But it's not, whatever you're getting is not what you're hearing. And it's sad to see that in Africa, we're playing broken telephone with each other.
That is sad. Yeah.
The only time it should be broken telephone is with everyone outside of Africa. If you don't live here,
Yeah.
rather be stupid.
Yeah.
Stay stupid, because that's how we make money out of you.
Yeah, this is home. What do you want? You're standing at the gate and you're like, "Mfunan," before you enter, what do you want?
I cannot
What
wait
you about?
for an Africa to be like that.
It's, I think I've said it before. No, I said that about women. I said the day that women realize who they are in the world, like the rest of the world must be afraid. But I think the same with black people. The day that we can come together, number one, and then stand together, because there's a, and I'm not talking about when the Boca play, or when now we all supporting the Eagles from Nigeria or whatever because they're playing against you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
Does
about
South Africa support
actually.
when that happens? Does South Africa support Nigeria when they play internationally?
In most cases, yeah, actually, South Africans do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know.
Sports easy. Music is easy because now Burna Boy is doing something great, and then we're like, yeah, it's from Africa, that kind of thing. It's convenient, right, at that time. But when push comes to shove, when they're going through the most, when you hear about what Congo is going through,
It's them and us. We got our own problems.
we've got our problems.
We dealing with
guys.
John Steenhuisen
Sort it out.
and Marcus Scribner. What's his Marcus whatnot? Libinot. Yo, Afrikaans surnames.
I'm not the one.
2025. We need to mispronounce back. How do you say your surname again? Lib what?
For me, I can't because
You can choose to.
okay, I choose not to.
Choose to.
Because I once, and I remember because I first spoke English before any other language, right? And I remember saying palesa. Oh. Yo, the slap that I got.
That's the clip. I'm gonna use that clip. I remember saying.
I said palesa. Yo. No. And since that day, I'm very intentional about how I pronounce a name. So I will watch your lips move. This is how you say your name. It's important.
Calm
for
down.
me.
Stop putting the effort. We need them to put the effort back.
Wait.
I have a friend whose name's Seho.
Yeah.
She answered a call, put her on speaker.
Yeah.
The person on the line is colored. Not white. Colored.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I please speak to Chekofasho? Hey,
Just
you're
because-
colored. You are colored. And remember, colored is a new race. It came up in 1990 or whatever. It was never a race. Colored was considered
1990,
black.
Abuti.
90 something. It's
Hey,
there.
you're taking risks. And
Watch
it's not
the
me.
documentaries of these color communities.
Enodale, Hasidna. Aldo's is not me. Please.
The elders of this community said we were never called colored. We were called black. The government gave us this name.
Okay, fine. That we get. Sharp. But now, it doesn't mean that you would be able to pronounce that name just because you were once upon a time black.
Well, you integrated better with us than Lavashkakni.
True, and same with the Indian people, but they can't say.
They looked at us like, nah, we're not brown like that. Well, we're not brown like that. Okay, that's racist. I need to stop. I'm having too much coffee.
It's a little bit too much. I had like a chat with my kids this week. I can't say go to my friend. I seriously cannot do it. So I go to the shop and I'm like, hi, how are you? What's your name? And I remember the first time that I did that. And he looked at me and he's like, no, my friend. And I'm like, no, that's not your name. What is your name? And he says, my name is Mohammed. I said, hi, Mohammed. My name is Ellen. And from that day, he called me by my name. I called him by his name. And he felt like I saw him. Because that's exactly
that's
what
beautiful.
it was. That's all it takes. See somebody, right? Now, my friend, no ways.
You sound like you need to go start a podcast for Gift of the Givers.
I would, because they're doing a
Because
very
they'll
good
pay
work.
They'll pay you really
They
well.
are doing a very, very good work. As a Christian person, I am saying that loudly and proudly. They are doing a good work. But I can't stand it. And my kids were saying, they would say, my friend Makuleng, they would say Okongo when it comes to Nigeria or any, African country that is not South African. And I'm like, no, that's not what you do. You
That's
ask
a beautiful
person
thing. That's a beautiful
their
trait
name.
that you have and what you did. I mean, because essentially you're exposing that we're in a society that refuses to see people, we only see functions and positions.
Yes.
Which I guess is very un-African of us to do. Because among the rest of the world, we understand what community means.
Yes. Yes.
I will say South Africa does not know what that is. We don't know what that means anymore. Maybe the other countries possibly do, but not us. And maybe villages in South Africa, rural areas in South Africa understand it. City kids, no.
Nah, don't care.
Because we think, what's the ulterior motive? Yeah.
That's sad, but I hope we become better eventually.
Speaking of which, with all these deportations happening, and in light of Trump winning, who's saying they're going to deport people, for or against?
That is difficult. I'm going to start off saying that it's not as easy as let them go, right? And I'm not talking about labor, because that's what we see them as. We look at them as like they're just workers. They're here to fuel the economy, right? I think there is a right and a wrong way of doing things. So before you say hak, heistu, I think rather get right the means into getting into this country, right? Don't make it as difficult, and don't. The way that they treat people at our borders is horrendous. And this is not from the way the government said, this is what you need to do when you're coming into the country. This is just our officials saying, I can do it because I'm South African and when you are trying to get in here, that kind of thing. So I think that we need to start first in regulating how people enter into the country. And this is everybody, because we are very particular about who we have here. I was watching it's not really a podcast, they're more of a vlog kind of thing, where there's a lot of Americans, like you just earlier said, coming into South Africa and then just touring, right? They just want to see what it's like in Johannesburg, and so they can put up Johannesburg as per what the media says and what it's really like. Great. Thank you so much for selling a good story. Thank you so much for selling the truth, right? But it's a black person, and the minute I hear that, oh, they're from England or from America, I treat them better. But somebody who's from anywhere in Africa, with the same credentials, everything that the American or person from Britain has, I don't rate you, just because you're from Africa. So that needs to end. We need to first make sure that everybody within Africa can enter the country in a legal way, in a humane way as well. And then once that we've got that down, we can then look at the people that are here illegally, who refuse maybe to get their paperwork. And I understand, there's a whole lot of refugees and all of that kind of stuff, but people that just refuse to do it the right way. You can't say, because they're here now, and there's a lot of them. How do you get them all out without starting some sort of uproar?
It's such a interesting conversation, because you can be patriotic and go, yeah, they need to leave so we can have South Africans getting more jobs. But when you look at the stats, South Africans don't want the jobs that they're taking.
We don't.
And then on top of that, when I look at the work I do, I mean, my work has the privilege of going into other African countries.
Yeah.
And it's not like I go into the cities of the African countries. I land there, and then I go to the bad areas.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because I think that's always something I always wanted. Like, don't show me the side that your first world countries want to visit. Show me the side that I don't know about. And it's uncomfortable, but it's like I'm learning, what the real Africa looks like. And there's a particular country I'm yet to visit. I thought I was going to see it this year, but there's a section we're involved in where there's refugee camps.
Yeah.
And we're providing educational tools and resources for kids. It's crazy to know that the kids that we're serving had to escape the country they're from just so they can get education, just stay alive.
Yeah.
Just hope that their parents come back with them. And it's like when I see stories like that in other countries like that, it's like, damn, I'm looking at video footage of a group of kids.
Yeah.
We don't know how many of them actually have their parents there with them. We don't even know how they entered the country. They just made it to the refugee camp.
Yeah.
And thank God there's solar panels to help them give electricity or whatever else. But it's like, that's their life. Should that country now deport them if they had the same modus operandi that South Africa had? What would that look like?
Yeah.
What would happen if, I don't know, the Northern Hemisphere is under attack? Are we going to go, guys, don't come here. We have too many Nigerians and Zimbabweans here. What's the solution?
Man.
Are we gonna expose how un-African we are with the rest of our people? And I don't know if we're ready for that conversation. I'm not saying we should allow everyone in willy-nilly. I get it. Regulate, processes, whatnot. But there's countries opening their doors because they can see, the rest of the world's still trying to take, kill, steal from Africa. What do you expect to happen?
And also maybe to counter that, let's stop going to kiss babies overseas and start at home, right? So make it like it's a mandate that we go into war-torn countries within Africa and we see how we can help. We've got a louder voice perhaps, or we've got a voice that maybe somebody would hear eventually. How can we help them? That way, it slowly gets that problem out, so there's no need for everybody to run away. Nobody wants to leave their home. They want to stay there, you know. If you take the time to just listen to an Uber driver, a gardener, somebody that is not South African, ask them, what is your story? They don't want to come here. My country is beautiful. I was a teacher, I was a lawyer, I was a whatever. Now I'm doing this because it's all I can. Besides the fact that they were something great over there, and then they're just trying to help their family survive. Yeah. Right? Take time, listen to their story, and you'll see they're not here to steal our jobs. They just want to be treated in a humane manner, and given the opportunity, they'd go back home.
Perhaps South Africans are just also in a place where we don't want to feel even more sad than we really are. Like I'm already working at a loss to hear another story that's going to depress me, and it's worse than mine. Yeah. Like I'm dealing with my sadness. Now I got to handle how worse yours is because you're just trying to survive. I don't think we need to hear it. And I guess it's like, if only the TRC commission was longer, maybe then they would teach us to have more empathy for some people. I don't think we need to be, as black people, I don't think we need to be taught. My mom said that even if you don't have food in your home, a cup of tea, it can be a black cup of tea, you don't have like 1 teaspoon of sugar, just make sure that that person doesn't leave your house without having eaten something. Eat what you eating. It's cabbage and it's pap. Let them eat what you're eating. Let them drink what you're drinking. So that has been instilled in us. And I don't think it's so far-fetched that we can't practice it in our daily lives. So I'm going through a lot. You going through a lot. Look, I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to be a voice for your country. But can I listen to what your story is? And then I take your story and I tell it to somebody else. Eventually, it's going to get somewhere, right? And if it isn't, that person goes home saying, I met a stranger who saw me as their brother. That's all we need. We don't need to be taught how to be human. I don't know about white people. I've never been white. I wouldn't know. But as black people, that is who we are. Christmas time, I remember once, just quickly, I went with my ex-husband. Before we got married, we went to his hometown in KZN. And having grown up in an area where there's high walls and, you know, everybody keeps to themselves, it was so overwhelming to see the amount of people that came into the home. Number one, the amount of food that need to be cooked. I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. This family is this small. Why are we cooking this much? And it's because everybody that comes through your door on Christmas Day needs to be fed. And these people still, on their floors, it's still cow dung. So you know that these aren't well-off people. But they make sure that they will save money until the end of the year so that their neighbors can eat. That's good.
Stretch it a little bit further. Go to Zim, go to, just stretch it.
Yeah.
Do that, stretch it. That's it.
That's very profound. Okay, I was gonna say on a lighter note, but it's like I see one more problematic point here.
Let's go.
Should we do the problematic one first?
Yeah.
Nigeria is making C-sections free for everyone who is poor and vulnerable. I don't like saying it like that, but
Yeah.
that's how the article put it.
Okay.
Free for everyone who is poor and vulnerable to reduce the number of mothers dying during birth. I didn't even know that was a thing until I was sent that. Like, oh.
That they had to pay for it.
I guess, yeah, C-sections, like, it's not natural birth, right?
It's not natural birth. It's something that you do because you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got a high-risk pregnancy or high-risk birth, and that's...
And I wonder
the
how
reason
high
why.
the numbers that they had to make that public like that. Like, because that's also concerning, like, oh, that's sad.
Again, it's just listening to a story. We complain about having to go to the clinic. I mean, the state of our clinics and public health system is shocking, right? You've got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, make sure that you're at the clinic gate at 5 a.m. And already there's a long line, right, ahead of you. People that arrive there at 4, just so that you can be given Panado and, sent home. So we already understand what it's like to be in South Africa, but our system is so much better than a lot of these other countries.
Yeah, 100%.
So much better.
Yeah.
And you'd find that it's just that they aren't getting the help and assistance that they need.
Yeah.
A lot of these deaths could be prevented, right? But they don't have the means. So right now they're saying C-section, which isn't the greatest of things because you can only have X amount of children after your first via C-section, That on its own, it's a major surgery. So your life is at risk.
I mean, even like coming from a privileged side, when we were pregnant, they told us, the midwife told us, if you go to a hospital, they're going to try push the C-section.
Yeah.
Because that's where more money's made.
It's about the money here.
It has nothing to do with you being alive, and they want more money out of you. It's like, oh, okay. So do everything it takes to try go natural and only go there if that's last resort.
Yeah.
And it's sad that, oh, okay, what's going on in Nigeria that this needs to be free now? How many? What's the ratio?
Yeah.
Because
But
Africa
you have to
doesn't
give them props at least for those that really, really need it.
Yeah.
At least there's help. But it just shows that the situation is really, really dire.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Tyler wins another award.
Yes. Halala girl.
How old is she?
I don't know.
16?
She's in her 20s. No. How? She's in her 20s. Right, guys? She's somewhere in her 20s.
How old is Tyler?
I don't know.
She's like 22, 23.
Damn.
She's really young, though.
What are you doing with your life?
I was part of a problematic church and just inflicting pain and, controlling people's relationships and stuff.
I was a new mother.
Wait, so if she's 22, 23, she has 24 awards now.
It's 24.
This reminds me, Casper actually said in one of his songs called Fever,
Yeah.
I had 24 awards at the age of 24. Well, Tyler now has a crown and real awards. I mean, she's got a summer, so if we have to do the math, okay, fine, 23. But no, like, am I being
I give up
problematic?
Yes, I give up. I don't need smoke.
It was a joke, guys.
It was not. You know full well that you meant it. You know how you feel about Casper. So please.
I mean,
But well done to her. It's not, what? DNA, it's RSA.
yeah.
How convenient. I don't like it. I
Well,
don't
she
like
hasn't
that
said
slogan.
that.
I'm sorry.
You
I
don't
don't
like
like it. No.
Why don't you like it?
Because it's that we don't care about you on a day-to-day. But when you're winning, you're ours. So for me, it just doesn't sit well with me.
Wait, why don't you like the DNA is just RSA?
Yeah.
You don't like that?
I don't like it.
I feel like it's
Because I
very,
feel-
like with it's in
It should
line
be
with
copied.
SA,
Whoever
yeah.
wrote it needs royalties. But
I mean, great to them, sharp. But the way it makes me feel, you don't know you don't want to step into my, because the way they're looking at it, you're looking at it it's the rugby team, right? So we are behind the rugby team. We're not talking about Soweto. We're not talking about Alexander. We're not talking about, but on the day that there's a match, right? Or there's a game. They will say, Ellen, where can we go and watch? Because this place here, News Cafe Gogaigai, is too, it's packed, whatever. Then you're okay with coming to Soweto and you're coming to Alex and Orange Farm and all of that stuff. But on a day-to-day basis, you don't feel like saying, There's no RSA in you when you feel like, and then as a white person, as an Indian person, as a suburbs black person, do you say, let me just go into the hood and go and get? It's only when it's convenient for you, to you, that you decide, okay, now it's RSA. No, to hell.
But here's the thing, right? With South Africans, we have the courtesy of, let's say, diverse experiences within the country.
Correct,
You know what I'm saying? But what also, for me, what it means is that even though we're diverse, at that particular moment, we're all RSA. Yeah, well, that's basically South Africa is within our DNA, whether you like it or not, whatever, like, your background and experience of the country is. And right that moment, we are only just recognizing South Africa, and we pushing that.
Yeah.
You know, for me, that's like better than America. You know, that's for me like patriotic to such an extent. Like, it's also in a positive light than, you know, bigotry. You get me?
I'm not sure.
I mean, at least phonetically, it sounds better than no DNA, only
RSA.
USA.
Because do you see how
they
the
can also
Americans,
take
because you can say nothing to them about the flag.
The Americans.
Right? So for them, it's USA day in, day out.
But that's racially, like, very much motivated in most cases.
In most cases, it's
so you kind of, when a person is, like, if you see a person with American flag, cap, stickers and whatever, you kind of have a feeling to that person is
redneck,
racist.
yeah.
You get me? But when I say no DNA, just RSA, you automatically think, oh, something good must have happened. Something great must have been celebrated. You
That's
get
a good
me?
point. You
know?
can only associate with positivity.
But I need it to be everyday activity, okay? I need it to be
So
every
you want to
single day.
you want to see a car? I mean, those bank robbery heists, the cash and transit heists, and go no DNA, only RSA. You want that? You want someone to caption that in the recording?
For tech, first of all.
Have you seen that video that went, oh my, the explosion, it exploded. We're on the N12, and then the police officer, they're recording the call.
Yeah.
We're on the N12. Where is the off-ramp? Oh, the car has to
So
just
now they
explode
know.
now. Just let it go. You must just cancel the call now.
I get what you're saying. I totally get it. But, man, I just need it to be on a day-to-day. Because we quickly forget. And it's great, right? I can quickly forget what my life is like, what it feels like to be me, Monday to Saturday, or Monday to Friday, because Saturday is the game, and I know that Saturday I can travel. Sorry, I've got this, I hurt myself and it's difficult to talk. Saturday I can travel into the burbs, and then Michael doesn't see, you know, now it's Sholoza. Friday, where was that? You know?
Yeah.
I was making Burrovos, now you want me to sing?
Now all of us, no. It must be a day-to-day kind of thing. And all it does is broaden your mind, you know, just for a few hours. Nje, just find out, okay, Maschaba, what are you about? Right? And then you find out that Maschaba actually comes from a lineage of XYZ. And then now, as a Michael, you know. So that when you say there's no DNA, it's just RSA, it's because you know.
But here's the thing also, when I say like about South Africans is that we all know, even though we might not partake in people's experiences, I know backgrounds of, or I know or have an assumption rather, of what a person in the rural areas, like how they live. I have an assumption of a person in the township, how they live, how's the, you know, everyone is aware of that. It's just that on a day-to-day basis, it's hard, man, to be like, yo, okay, cool, let's be positive, or let's do something about it. Because we also, like, whether you're in the burbs or wherever, you kind of have some other issues that you're dealing with, and that affect everyone else as well. So it's fatigue, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So those spikes of positivity, when they come up, that's when we rally together. Have you seen South Africans on TikTok when something is happening and then they say like Nikona or something like that?
Yeah.
See,
And
South
we're all there.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, South Africans have this thing of rallying behind each other, behind a
Yeah.
cause, and it's just that sometimes it's not going to be an everyday thing, unfortunately. But when it happens in such a mass thing that it becomes like culture in a way. You get me? So, I feel like those moments should be celebrated like that with that slogan. You get me?
Yeah.
I
We're
like
too
it.
beautiful of a country not to
Yeah.
capitalize on that.
We have to, as South Africa, we have to learn how to disagree and stay united. America has to learn how to do that
Yes.
too. But I think, forget them for a second. We need to learn how to disagree and go, we're still together.
We're still together, yeah.
I think that's the thing I like about my friendships. There's a lot of things we don't agree on, but we'll come and laugh about other stuff. And we'll come and
yeah.
argue, but it's not going to divide the friendship. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only way I measure the value of a true friendship. Can we disagree? And even if we never agree, we're still friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing we need to kind of practice again, because we are slowly trying to get into that whole American behavior of, oh, you voted for Trump, I can't be your friend. No, we can still talk. Those are people.
Although I know that somebody that was trying to talk to me, like, talk to me, and I saw on his statuses how he was for Trump. And I was like, okay, I'm looking at you a little bit different, because it wasn't just from an objective.
Should that not create an opportunity for you to be more curious to learn a back end, and for an opportunity for him to go, let me understand your world?
I get that, but for me, it's like, as a woman, and we had the conversation. I was like, okay, how do you feel about what he has been accused of, what he has done in terms of harassment, sexual harassment, all of that kind of stuff? And he brushed it under the table. And that's where it got me. Because I'm like, I can't be with a man who believes that that's okay. It wasn't just the fact that
Okay.
I'm
so
for.
you're talking about fundamental principles that
It's the principles.
get you. Fly Affair might be
What?
grounded.
Why?
No.
So if you are planning on going home to Eastern Cape, Cape Town,
We don't go by plane. We never ever go by plane.
if you're planning on flying, you might need to find a different airline.
Really?
Under South African law, an international company is only allowed to own 25% of the company.
Okay.
The main shareholder of Fly Affair owns 74%, who lives in Ireland, who is Irish. I don't know how long they've known.
Yeah.
But it's coming
another
out
thing.
now just before
Just
festive season.
before.
Because that's the thing that always frustrates me. It's like, you held this over someone's head. And you guys were playing this cat-dog game. It's like, try me, let's see. I'll try.
Get that.
See you soon on the next episode of Izzy Dingo.
Sus, man.
It's like,
That, sure.
and our producer from Eastern Cape.
And I've already booked my flight.
With Sepe. Wow.
Good
Now
luck.
it'll teach you. You go by bus. You never go. Why? You're acting all brand new.
No. But the reason also just is that, like, with buses, there's a lot of conflict on the road. So my mom is not, like, really, chuffed about that. So she
Yeah.
was like, listen, book a flight and then just bounce.
Yeah.
I agree with that,
don't.
yeah.
I don't agree with traveling by.
Yeah,
But-
try my best to stay off the road.
What does this mean if Fly SFA is grounded? Because domestically, how many options do we have that are, like,
Who else
affordable?
is there?
Well, Lyft will
There's
come
Lyft.
Yeah.
And who else?
Cam Air?
Kulula.
What's that?
Kulula's still around.
Yeah.
Is Kulula?
Are they not still around?
No.
I
Oh,
haven't
really?
heard of them.
They get
in a
liquidated or they got
long
bought?
time.
Absorbed.
When they under British Airways, and then when that
Oh?
went debunked, like, whatever.
Is Mango still around?
And Mango?
Mango's not around.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
Oh, Chem Air.
Cam Air.
Woo,
Yeah. But, like, that's
child.
a taxi.
That's what is a taxi.
Hey.
Oh, that one is bad. And for the amount that they charged, we had to use.
Guys, we could get a deal, a brand deal. Just go, guys, fly Chem Air for 25, and if you follow before you weekend, whatever, Chem Air / before you weekend,
I flew with them last year
and say how
in
great
December.
they are. They were amazing.
I'm gonna get there. Relax.
Okay.
Here we go.
Put the camera on her, please.
The customer service, absolutely amazing. I don't want to lie. They took their time. It didn't feel like we were inconveniencing them as we had with the other airline. So that was great. It's Cam Air or Chem Air?
I don't know how to say it.
It's that one, Chem Air, that one. It was a beautiful experience, right? And then we got into the planes, which seemed kind of small for my liking. Chilled. I mean, we're getting to where we need to go, and we didn't book with them initially. We had missed our flight, and we had no other choice but to take them. And we got onto it was on time, all of that stuff. We got there a few minutes earlier. We got to Durban a few minutes earlier, but then we understood why. We got there a few minutes earlier. It's like a little baby between a CIA and a Quantum. Not even a Quantum, a Sprinter. Yes, that's exactly it. So if you take taxis quite a lot, you'll be okay. You'll be chilled. Like, I mean, you get to where you're going. It's yellow line, but we're getting to where we're going. So yeah, I mean, it was okay. I've only flown with them once, so I can't really.
Apparently, if you fly Keme,
you feel everything.
You can literally ask the pilot to pass you a drink via cooler box.
Oh yeah,
you guys are so rude. Keme,
it's
I love you.
South African.
If you want to fly me anywhere, I'll be your hoe.
Have you flown with them before?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, you would have known if.
This is a man that flies frequently.
No, not as frequent as, not like that. I'm not Calvin.
It's frequent. He's gonna come here. I swear, if he comes here with an accent, I swear if he comes back here with an accent after having been there for 2 seconds, it's gonna be me and him. But yeah, no, it just feels like it's like flying in a Tata Indica. You know, the Tata Indica didn't have...
I don't know why you're roasting them. This is about Fly Affair. Leave them alone.
I will fly with them any day. And that is because I am so hung up about customer service, right? And how I'm treated. So the flight didn't matter to me because of the way I was treated by the people on the ground. Yeah. So it really, really didn't matter. I would fly with them again. On the other flights, though, you went there and they're just like, "Ma'am, sorry, we can't help you, sorry," because they can see the amount of people that are standing in their lines, right? So they take advantage. I believe that they're taking advantage of the fact that they are clients, right? And we're going to be booked regardless.
Yeah.
So I can treat you anyhow. Khanti, the only thing is, don't be black. Just don't be black, right? Once you get the people coming through and like on a regular basis, keep the standard. That's all that matters to me. Keep the standard. Don't now all of a sudden think that, oh, all right, sharp. Now you're like, saying, this one was late. He wants a ticket. And then, you know, that kind of thing. Let's not do that. But it's fine.
I love you, Keme. You've never done me wrong.
You can't even remember if you've flown with them, so you're just a hypocrite.
I remember when I was with you guys in 1990.
When did these people come around? I'm going to pinch this man. Flippin' hell.
There's two present things, but I know it's on your docket as well. I'm going to get past one quickly, and then I want to address this person. Denzel Washington is about to retire, probably end of next year or something. He's got 5 more movies to do. Of the 5 is Black Panther 3. Ryan Coogler is writing a role for him as we speak.
He can do no wrong in my eyes. But I do believe some things just need to be left alone. Leave Black Panther alone.
What if
it's sharp.
What if he's got a villain story? What if that's his going out retirement tour? Like I want to play the bad guy again.
He needs what's that? What day?
Training day.
He needs a training day type of thing to go out on.
Yeah. What if he does that?
Nah, it's not on Black Panther. MCU. Black Panther is
but
Black
that's MCU money. That's a good way to retire. Let me make sure I get one of those checks for the rest of my life.
It's not about the money. It's not about the money for him. For me, it's an impact kind of thing. And Black Panther, before you come at me, major impact, please. I was there. when it
Why
came
did you
to-
do the freedom fist? That was unnecessary.
Because I felt a certain way
That's
about
racist at this point.
Excuse me.
Malcolm X is dead. King is gone. Why do you need that fist?
Okay, I felt a certain way after watching Black Panther. It
Continue.
Okay. Where was I now? I just think that he needs a training day type of thing to go out. And I'm saying this having I watched one of his one of the series things that he's done, one of the three. Equalizer, I think.
Equalizer
Yeah.
series.
Terrible.
So I watched that, and I believe that he needs something like really, really hectic to go out on. Another training day type of thing. Black Panther for me is very, it's awakening, but it's very kumbaya. You know?
It's educational too. Like,
It is fine, but for me, like, man, my man. Do you understand? When man, there's nobody sexier than Denzel. He's so sexy. Anyway, what were we talking about?
You know they say I
What
look
was
like a young
that?
I don't know.
Denzel.
No, he's delicious. That man is delicious. It makes you think of the I think it's the People Sexiest Man Award that went to, I can't remember the gentleman's name.
I know that he's dating Selena Gomez. I know this guy. I forgot his
I
name.
can't even say how bad, because
That was terrible.
you can see who the people that are choosing the sexiest man are. Look at Denzel. Chestnut. Get Chestnut. Is that his name?
Morris Chestnut, yeah.
Yes. Like all of the men, even white men, fine. I'm not just talking about black men. Even white men, there are like a gazillion white men and black men that could have been chosen. I'm not saying that man's like horrible. I'm just saying that, like, come on, guys. But yes, he does make me like catch my breath. Denzel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is the guy that they chose as sexiest man. Well, part of it. His name is Benny Blanco. This guy.
Why did they give him a Street Fighter name?
No, that's not the one that they chose. There's a white man that they chose. He's got like a schnoz of a nose kind of thing, but he's a white man. For me, it didn't scream
That's where you
sexiest
caption
man.
the beauty inside. ha. Look, I'm not blind. We're all not blind. Well, to those who can't.
Guys, I think now we've reached the end. What were you saying? Where were you going with this whole chat?
Martha Stewart called a milk tart depression pie.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Desperation Pie.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Desperation
Depression.
pie.
Yeah.
Desperation pie.
And she didn't. Somebody said, I don't know if it was on TikTok or on Instagram, where they said, and she didn't even like put cinnamon on it.
Yeah.
So come on, please. Like, some people, just stop talking. Stop talking. Go home, retire.
I don't think we're angry enough. Like, she's a billionaire, and Americans love the title self-made billionaire, which I think is a fallacy. There's no one's a self-made billionaire. It's technically impossible. You have to exploit someone, so you're not self-made. Desperation pie? From where? What country called it that?
My thing is, somebody's going to taste it. Somebody's going to say, this is good, you know? And South Africa won't be brought into the chat. That is my problem.
We'll welcome ourselves into it.
We just talked about how ignorant we are as South Africans in terms of what Africa looks like. But it's just as bad with America. They have no idea what's happening here, right? So they're going to eat that thing up, and they're going to be okay with it. She's going to make money out of it. And it doesn't matter. Hey?
As her recipe.
As her recipe, just because she called it desperation pie. Bloody hell. Somebody said she must go back to jail.
And maybe that's why.
Did she also say that she didn't, like, she wiped off the fact that she cheated? She didn't, like, take it seriously. Like, the husband cheated. It was major. But then when they said, but you
said
also...
if someone cheats on you, let him go.
But he didn't find out.
But didn't you cheat?
Yeah, but he didn't know, so...
She was reminiscent in that moment, like, I did.
And
I did. It was good.
It was
I remember
good.
every moment. When you caught on camera, that's like a... Okay, I'm done. Those are my points. Oh, Danny Jordaan.
Danny Jordaan is under investigation for alleged fraud and theft involving around 1.3 million rand from SAFA.
There is no way South Africans aren't going, yeah, we knew this.
You think so?
You are not in a place for that long. That position for that long? He just got too greedy.
It's interesting that you say that. He got too greedy. I think that as South Africa, we're okay with a little bit of skimming off the top. We've got a problem when you're now taking a whole baguette.
Remember, of all the leagues in Africa, we have the highest paying one.
Yeah.
I think they said I forgot how many $1 million it is. But it's like, we got the highest one. Now you got Motsepe, who's at the top as the president of CAF. I feel like when that came up, this wasn't... Motsepe has also known that this man is a problem. And I would not be surprised if this was part of the tact. Get this man out the way because he's a cancer to the culture. The problem is, what if Motsepe is also a cancer and then we're going to find out 10 years later? I don't think he is, because it seems like he's trying to further what our soccer industry is doing. I don't really know much about soccer. You guys can correct me in the comments.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if they're like, we've known this man has been doing dodgy stuff, because you don't stay in that position for that long. That's a weird... really, that's the first alarm.
Yeah.
Like, how's no one going... That's why when the news broke out, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But we probably knew this. We just ignored that. There are some signs that we're not asking about.
Yeah, I think with him and just his what you call this, his history within the organization has been shady. You know, he's been involved in a lot of questionable deals.
Allegedly?
Allegedly, not to implicate anyone, but
We don't have money.
He's been very like he's got a sketchy past, like within the whole like soccer federation, whatever.
What's the platter?
Yeah, so I don't think for me, I wouldn't be surprised if there was actual evidence against him for this fraud.
He's pursuing legal action though. Yeah.
I said allegedly, just in case.
No, just in case. We just regurgitating what we read.
But the article said 1.3 million. Like, there's millions missing there. You missed a zero or something.
Yeah, I don't think, to be fair, to say this, I don't think any South African person committing fraud would just skim off just $1 million.
Yeah.
If you're skimming something off, you probably have a lot.
Make it worth your while.
I don't think it's just a
if
million.
you're going to do it good.
It's like he sat there with the News 24 editors like, let's just...
I sit in jail. Like, hi, don't say. Let's make it...
Yes, to for your parking tickets.
Because with a man of his, like, he's rich, he's wealthy. What, $1 million? Are you going to risk your career for, like, $1 million?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, what's the real story? We need Deborah Petzer back. Leave BBC or wherever you're working. CNBC? I forgot what they said she's doing now.
Who's the lady who's here on ETV who's got the red hair? She wrote a book and she was after the whole Zuma thing. She also can go after that, I suppose. I can't remember her name.
There's another person? Oh.
There's a white lady, and I think she's got red hair. She's on ETV, and she went after Zuma.
Interesting.
And she won. I think there was a case, and she won the case.
Wow.
I just can't remember her name right now.
That's impressive. The only thing I had left was, if you are tired of watching B4UWKND on Before the People TV, you also have Storyscapes. And hopefully in December something else new. Cool, I'm done.
Okay, my problem with that, and I'm going to be done very, very quickly, is that Storyscapes is amazing. It's extremely nostalgic. If you ever listen to Storytime, this is actually the Storytime of way back when. So Lesedi FM, Motsweding, I think it was like 7:45 at night, right? Where you get like a 15-minute slot and you listen to like a story. You hear, if it's nighttime, there's crickets. If it's daytime, there's a chicken and whatever. And what Storyscapes is doing, guys, it makes you think, it makes you remember your grandmother, your mother, whoever it was that you listened to those stories with. It takes you back there. That's how I learned how to speak Sesotho, because I couldn't speak it. So I really enjoy it. Also, it does something to your mind. We're so used to watching and just zoning out because we're watching something. Yeah. Now, this is something where you listen. You've got to create the image in your mind. It's beautiful. And if you haven't yet, it's 8 minutes of your time. Trust you me, listen to it. Storyscapes on For the People TV, amazing.
Good stuff.
I'm
done.
Are you done? All right, guys. I think it was a good one this week, guys. And what I've noticed is that some people are here, they love it, and they just can't seem to press that subscribe, notify. That's all it takes. And next week, you'll get it on time. Just an hour of your time during your lunch break, when your boss isn't watching, get a cup of coffee, strong, and listen to us, engage with us. It is amazing, and we'd love to hear your input as well. So next week, we'd love to see you guys there. But for this week, this has been Before You Weekend, where we talk about the week before it ends, and we are out.
You're watching Before Your Weekend.